It was a great time at the Seyi Vibez concert yesterday in Ibadan. There was a range of about 6,000 to 7,000 people who showed up to have fun at the Seyi Vibez concert, and you could tell that they were all really close fans of Seyi Vibez with their responses to most of the songs that came on and when he eventually hopped on stage. So credit to everybody who was involved in this movement yesterday. But some points worth noting. I think there actually happens to be a concert culture which needs to be addressed, maybe especially here in Nigeria. And it's the nature of having fans wait round the clock. Now, for a concert that was built to start at 9 o'clock, and with the peculiarity of this particular showcase, which also included the Champions League, which was showcased at the venue. Now, the Champions League kicking off at around 5 p.m. in Budapest, Hungary, was also showcased at the venue. So now imagine that a fan who had been at the venue from 5 o'clock and did not get to experience Seyi Vibez hop on the stage up until around 4:33 in the morning. Now, that's counting down almost 12 hours that fan has waited in that same arena, waiting to experience greatness eventually happen. Ideally, it would seem that for concerts and music shows, they should not be lasting more than 120 minutes in a very ideal situation. Because imagine the fans having to wait long hours to experience who they had come to see. Now, visibly, there was a lot of exhaustion in the crowd, which eventually led to frustration and then anger. And most angst felt by a lot of the people in the crowd were being expressed by throwing bottles on the stage to anybody who wasn't Seyi Vibez. And that was very concerning because the fans had waited long enough to experience Seyi Vibez. But of course, the energy was restored when the man that they had come to see eventually hopped on the stage. They had a rejuvenation in their energy. So I believe that is something that might need to be addressed by all involved, all the stakeholders, the promoters, the organizers of these events. It's very important that you look into how is it possible for these fans to gain maximum value for the money that they pay. Because when you consider a fan is paying 15,000 naira to come experience a show of that magnitude, and eventually they end up waiting 12 hours before they can get to experience the show in itself. I believe that most people could consider this as a waste of their time and maybe not commensurate value for the money that they have paid. So I believe it's something that also needs to be addressed. And also another point worth noting is the overcrowding of the stage. Now, for those who seem to be unaware about this, the materials that make up the stage construct usually have a structural weight rating. In plain language, this means that there is a particular amount of force that this material can possibly support without failure. So in a case whereby the downward force being exerted by the people who happen to be on the stage is too much than the material can possibly withstand, it will lead to possibly bending or buckling of the stage, which would be a scenario that we would all want to avoid. Looking at the scenes on that very day, it would seem like somebody should not be getting their balance for the job that they had done on that very day due to negligence and recklessness on their part. God forbid something bad had happened. I mean, the story would have changed. So it's very necessary that safety measures are always being taken when it comes to a concert of this magnitude. Now, at different parts of the show, I saw that the DJs had almost played most of the popular songs that you could possibly know from Seyi Vibez. Now, the big question that you possibly ask is, if the show goes on for 12 good hours and Seyi Vibez comes on stage approximately about 12 hours from the starting point of the show, what songs exactly is he supposed to perform on stage for the crowd to sing along to? And it was very conspicuous that some of the technical guys had been exhausted from being on ground for long hours. So I believe it's something that we need to address so that everybody involved can get value for whatever money is being put in, because the concert culture is becoming such of a strain to attendees and consumers who constantly complain about getting exhausted attending these events. But who do you think is to blame for the long hours that fans end up spending at these shows? Is it the promoters? Is it the artists? Or is it some other people within the ecosystem